Fans of John Krasinski's A Quiet Place films will want to check out Arcadian. Directed by Ben Brewer, it's a monster movie that isn't really about the monsters. Don't get me wrong. These creatures are scary and definitely a deadly threat, with similar attack patterns to the creatures in that hit horror franchise. But this is really a story about a family, a father and two teenage boys trying to survive in isolation. The outside world keeps on calling, though. There might be monsters lurking around every corner, but that's not going to stop these boys' hormones from raging, or for their personalities to stop clashing. And did I mention that their father, Paul, is played by Nick Cage? As the stern, protective man of the house, Cage growls every line like it's his last. But he also has a snarling authority that you immediately believe in. Paul keeps his sons, intellectual and inquisitive Joseph, played by Jaeden Martell, and the more adventurous Thomas, played by Maxwell Jenkins, on a strict routine. Shutter the windows, bolt the doors, make sure everything is locked down before mealtime when the nightly creatures' attacks begin. The house rattles, the doors strain but don't break, and then it's over, only to be repeated the next night. Arcadian is about the repercussions when responsibility is shirked and routine is broken. Naturally, you can blame male hormones in the presence of a pretty young girl, Charlotte, played by Sadie Soverall, at a nearby farm that has Thomas breaking the rules. He comes home late, puts his chores off on Joseph, until a rash decision leads to an accident that forces the boys to grow up real quick. When I say that Arcadian isn't about the monsters but the coming-of-age story within, don't take that to mean the monsters are ignored. Quite the contrary. The monsters are quite prevalent, and the creature design very impressive. I actually thought for a while that we would never see them, but I was surprised to see they kind of look like the alien invaders from Attack the Block, mixed with the creatures from the Tomorrow War. I like that. Michael Nylon's screenplay doesn't waste time with the how or why the world is how it is, or even if much of humanity remains. We just don't know much. None of that matters, though, to this deeply intimate story about brotherhood and burgeoning manhood. Martell, an actor who has been mature before his time in films such as It and Midnight Special, is such a contrast to the brash, impetuous Jenkins. Their characters butt heads like brothers do, each straining to assert their personality and become individuals. They have terrific chemistry, and Cage fits right in as the dad who realizes his overprotective nature is the very thing driving his sons to act out. But what else is there to do when the apocalypse is upon you? I also appreciate that Soverall gets more to do as Charlotte than the love interest typically gets in these genre films. We see the beginnings of their first doomed love, the silly games Charlotte and Thomas play together, their mutual resentment of their predicament, and the mocking of it as well. Clocking in at just over 90 minutes, Arcadian doesn't overstay its welcome. The short runtime also means when the predators attack, it really means something. Brewer stages their assaults brilliantly, using shadow, frenzied edits, and a disgusting sound that's like 1,000 starving dogs licking their chops. They're so fearsome we're left wondering if even the great and mighty Nick Cage can stand against them. I'm not going to spoil that, but Arcadian is a creature feature in human drama worth seeking out to learn the answer. Arcadian opens in theaters on April 12th, and it gets a 3.5 out of 5. Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what we're laying down, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell to receive notifications for all of our latest stuff.